Let's take a look at radar. We are watching this so closely this morning because we talked about all the kids that are heading back to school. So you want to know that bus stop forecast. Good Thursday morning. We're glad that you're up with us here on 13 Sunrise. Happy first day of school to so many districts across the area. And for the rest of you, yeah, pack that umbrella as you head out and keep that in mind as you're about to make your morning commute.
You're talking about the bus stop forecast. In a lot of places, it's a puddle. Like that's your bus stop this morning. So we have so much to cover specifically with this weather this morning and all the accidents that are kind of starting to pile up on the road. So we want to get to that first.
There's a lot going on. It's a busy start. You know, all the humidity we've had?
Yep.
The atmosphere is using it this morning, and it's coming in the form of downpours and some thunderstorms. Let's get to Live Doppler 13. We'll track them, but first I do want to show you a vehicle fire on the east side. If you're just joining us, we've had this fire active since 4 a.m. Now, I believe most of the fire is put out, but there's still a lot of emergency crews here on I-465 in these northbound lanes by Pendleton Pike. I'm going to have another update for you in just a moment here from the east side of downtown. But we're sitting in the 60s and 70s. Lots of clouds. They're really low because we have the downpours over us. It is pouring in Indianapolis right now. Big downpour coming right through Marion County. The farther north and west you go, we are actually starting to dry out. We've got a lot of clouds and some sprinkles, but farther to the east, towards central Indiana and to the south, that's where it's go time. We have a new flood advisory, it looks like, for southern Hancock County, northern Shelby County. Get to that in just a moment. You already have some leftover flood advisories towards the west because we were really active as we were trying to get some sleep last night. They're over Lafayette and Crawfordsville. Now, big downpour is leaving Muncie and it's headed towards Randolph County and Jay County. Good morning around Tipton. The heavy rain is slowly trying to come to an end. Now it's Madison County's turn to get one more big wave up and down from Anderson north to Alexandria. This wave is going to come into Muncie as well. Indianapolis, it is a gully washer right now downtown, pushing eastbound right towards Post Road, Lawrence, Warren Central. We got the heavy rain for us. Fishers and Noblesville, Carmel, Zionsville, we're actually starting to dry out, but the heavy rain continues to fall in Brownsburg, right over Eagle Creek. Good morning in Avon, Plainfield. It's our second day of school this morning, and it is coming down in buckets. It's a very different morning this morning than yesterday morning. Now, I think for Indy, this will be one of the last rounds of thunderstorms coming in from Hendricks County and eastern Putnam County. You see that new flood advisory also coming out for Putnam County. That includes Greencastle south to Cloverdale. That will be one of our last big downpours, but we're getting soaked right now from Broad Ripple east to Lawrence. This will be coming into New Pal again and Greenfield again. That's why the flood advisory was issued, because you've got another round coming in. And this is one of our beefiest cells with some of the most lightning, although it has weakened just a touch over the last scan or two. This is headed eastbound towards Rushville, Connorsville, and then towards Brookville, Lake Liberty. And I think it's going to clip us in Knightstown right now, east to Cambridge City, Centerville, and then Richmond heads up. We've got rain now, but some bigger downpours are off towards the west. Here's a look at that latest timing on the bigger cell that we have. Connorsville about 6:30, Centerville 6:45, Liberty about 6:54, and Richmond just close to 7 o'clock when that bigger downpour will come in. All right, now to the south. See, there's a lot. Buckle up. We've got more scattered downpours towards the west coming into Greene County and Owen County. So Bloomington, Ellettsville, downpours are fast approaching right now. They'll come in towards Lake Monroe. Bedford, I think we're going to get skimmed here within the next 60 minutes, and it may be another 60 minutes or so before Columbus starts getting in on some of these downpours. A little bit of light rain coming in now, but bigger stuff is off towards the west. But Indianapolis, my goodness, it is coming down big time. Let's talk traffic this morning. It is 6:03. I want to get you to a couple different crashes that we have out there this morning. We're going to start there towards Ben Davis High School on I-465 in those southbound lanes. We also have a crash on 65 South that I just want to let you know, so I went ahead and just put it there. But I-465 South, we have a crash. This is what it looks like. It's hard to see. Camera shaking there in the wind, heavy downpours. Looks like we still have about 3 lanes open right now, but the outside lane, the right-hand side lane from the driver's perspective, remains closed. And then this is once again another look at that vehicle fire incident. Hard to say if the fire's still going. We've had a lot of rain, and firefighters have been working very hard this morning through the thunderstorms, by the way, and these electrically charged storms. So it's been a dangerous one out there, but they've been working hard. We'll continue to watch, but Julia and Julia will have to give ourselves a little extra time as you're headed out the door this morning.
Thank you, Matt. New on Sunrise this morning, the man on trial for the murder of 3 people in what prosecutors called a setup has been found guilty on 2 counts of murder.
The jury deliberated for more than 11 hours before reaching that verdict. Overnight, the jury convicted 25-year-old Malik Shaw, seen here in court this week, in the killings of Aaliyah Wortman and London Coleman. However, the jury did deadlock on that 3rd murder charge of Spencer Lawson.
This happened in April of 2024 in the parking lot of a Lawrence apartment complex. Prosecutors say this was a setup to execute a man during a drug deal. The defense for Shaw called all the evidence circumstantial.
Sentencing is now set for August 27th and a hearing for August 15th, where prosecutors plan to update the status charges involving Lawson's death.
There's an investigation right now underway in the deadly plane crash in Johnson County.
So this is the crash site yesterday here. It happened earlier in the morning yesterday. Now, we know the FAA and NTSB are investigating, of course, what happened in those final fatal moments. We're also learning more about the pilot, who was a Purdue graduate with a passion for aviation.
Let's get to Anna Chalker. She's following this story this morning. Anna, this is really heartbreaking to hear, especially the ties here to Indianapolis.
It really is, ladies. So the 44-year-old was the first Vietnamese woman set to fly solo around the world, and the 10th woman ever recorded. Now, Wen posted a video to Instagram 15 minutes before her flight out of Greenwood. That's the screen grab you see on your screen. And that post says it's much more than just a flight. It's a mission to inspire the next generation of Asian female pilots, engineers, and STEM professionals. She also mentioned in her post she was flying from Indiana to Pennsylvania. Officials say her single-engine plane took off and then crashed feet behind a gas station near the intersection of East Main Street and Sheik Road. She grew up in Vietnam, saying she was always fascinated by flying machines. And now An Tu Nguyen moved to the U.S. when she was 12, later starting a nonprofit in 2018 for Asian women in the aerospace field, and then opening a training academy in Florida. Her nonprofit released a statement saying, in part, An Tu was an inspiring pilot, instructor, and advocate for girls and women in aerospace, engineering, and aviation. She lived with boldness, curiosity, and drive. So how this crash happened is still under investigation this morning with the FAA and NTSB. And we know this is a busy spot of Greenwood, just off the interstate. A lot of people were around to see this crash. So at 6:30, you'll hear from witnesses about what they saw in this tragic accident.
Yeah, such a tragedy. Thank you. Well, this morning, the Boone County Sheriff's Office is also trying to figure out who shot a crop duster airplane. The Sheriff's Office shared these pictures of the damage the bullet caused inside the plane. The shooting happened on July 18th in the area of State Road 32 and State Road 75. That's around the Dover area on the west side of the county. Now, thankfully, the pilot wasn't hurt. We have placed a number of calls, and we've also given you a number to call if you know anything about this shooting. You can see that number posted with this story on our website.
Yeah, to Shelby County now, where we're working to learn more information about a crash there. NDOT has confirmed that at least one person was killed here. They're seen as first responders were there as that line of traffic backed up on I-74 in the westbound lanes around 10 last night. So we're checking back in to find out more information about what may have led up to that crash or if anyone was hurt. We'll share those updates with you when we learn more.
And this morning, a woman is dead after being hit by a car while crossing the road near Crown Hill Cemetery on the near north side of Indy. We brought this to you as breaking news yesterday here on Sunrise and on WTHR+. So this isn't the first time a pedestrian was killed at this same intersection. Amaria Henderson's brother, Andre, died at this spot 5 years ago. The 21-year-old was hit by a car at 38th and Boulevard while riding his bike home. Right now, police are investigating the cause for yesterday's crash, but traffic safety advocates say 38th Street is already a pedestrian nightmare. The speed limit is 45, but drivers obviously go much faster than that, and pedestrians have to cross 6 lanes when crossing 38th Street. Henderson says her brother's death changed her entire life, especially when it comes to safety.
And now that I have a kid as well, sometimes with a stroller, I'm not just gonna hurry up and walk across the street. I'm gonna take a couple minutes, make sure I'm good, and then I'll go.
Safe Streets Indy reports yesterday's accident marks the 13th pedestrian killed on an Indianapolis street this year. Police say the driver involved did stay on the scene and is cooperating with the investigation.
An update for you now. We're seeing a show of support for an IMPD officer that was wounded by gunfire in the line of duty earlier this week.
Yeah, IMPD posted these photos to social media as they were greeting that officer, the injured officer, as he left the hospital yesterday. We were told he was shot 3 times during a traffic stop on Tuesday.
There were 4 suspects involved in this. Police say they're still looking for a 4th person that's on the run. This unfolded after a traffic stop near 16th and Lafayette Road. It started as an investigation into a possible stolen car, and it ended with that police shooting.
Now, the person shot by officers, we understand, is still in critical condition, but they say that suspect started shooting at the officer as he was taking a different person into custody that was also in that group. In all, 3 people were arrested, and police continue to search for that 4th.